From the KATC Weatherland, here's Rob's forecast.
Welcome back. Well, what a difference a day makes. Yesterday, 110, the all-time record high, the last of all the heat records. We broke them all this summer. Now we got some 90-degree weather with some cloud cover out there, and I can almost liken it to being out in El Paso or Phoenix, where I spend time with family, and you're kind of happy when you don't see the sun and see a cloudy day. And today was one of those, and some showers out there as well. Now, let's just finish off this big record here. We'll get over to the key wall and look at this year. Up until this year, the longest stretch of 100-degree days was 7 days back in 2000. Then you had some hot years in the 20s, especially 21, 24, 1962. But then this year, earlier this year, we had a 17-day consecutive stretch of 100 degrees. Then an 11-day stretch of 100 degrees. So that's 28 of back-to-back stretches and a total of 30 days over 100 this summer. And you look back at the records from 1982 to 2022, 40 years. In 40 years, there were only 32 100-degree days. So almost more 100-degree days this year than the last 40 years put together. So I'll give you an idea how far off the charts this summer has been. But we had a bit of a break thanks to this upper level trough that has brought a little bit of a frontal boundary through the area. And great timing on this trough, because this is keeping this tropical storm away from us and is going to actually force it to head toward Florida. So we'll get to that in just a bit. But with that upper trough, we do have some showers in the area, and again, you can see Acadiana down here by the western tip of Cuba. Don't know if we were thinking it was going to go over western tip of Cuba, but that you could have some land interactions here, and we might see a different track developing in the next couple of runs. So Florida on guard for sure. For us, at least a few showers across the area, some nice showers over towards southwest Louisiana. Calcasieu Parish getting some nice rain, not enough near where the fires are, and also additional thunderstorm activity has been firing up nicely by Baton Rouge. It looks like Baton Rouge is going to get some of this rain. Maybe some of this spreads west-southwestward as we head through the evening hours. We'll keep our fingers crossed. But you can see the activity across southwest Louisiana. We have a nice little cell showing up just to the west of I-49 from, we'll say, from Karen Crow and right around Pointe de Mouton Road on southward. You can see this is heading towards Scott. You should get some rain. Western Lafayette Parish may get a little rain too, but just enough to settle the dust. This is not enough to feed any of our lawns and gardens. It's going to take a couple of weeks worth of rain to do that. Now in the tropics, we have two systems of interest in the western Atlantic. We have Franklin, a Category 4, and Acadiana that's bucking to become a hurricane shortly. But look how intense this hurricane looks. Look how circular the eye is. Up to 145-mile-per-hour winds, maybe getting even stronger. Could be a Cat 5 as it goes west of Bermuda, or very close to that. Tropical storm conditions in Bermuda, but the worst of it should stay offshore there and curve out to sea. And then Acadiana, as we look down in the northwest Caribbean, the southeastern Gulf of Mexico has been bursting out near the center. It's getting better and better organized, so we'll see how it goes. 70-mile-per-hour winds. Pressure still not too low at 987 millibars, but it's very close to becoming a hurricane. Now moving to the north, and as it gets away from Cuba later on tonight, it will intensify, and there may be a rapid intensification cycle in this storm, so it's going to go to at least a Category 3. That's the official forecast for now, 120-mile-an-hour winds at landfall. But look where it's Cat 3. There's still more real estate for this to develop, and I think it's probably going to be closer to a Category 4, maybe a mid-range Category 4 at landfall. That is not good news across the Big Bend of Florida and much of the west coast of Florida, where hurricane warnings are posted from just about the Fort Myers area on northward. Tropical storm warnings elsewhere, and then it's going to be storm surge warnings as well. Storm surge watch for Fort Myers on southward, but you get into the Tampa area, much higher surge, and then across the Big Bend of Florida, that's where we're going to have the water better than 9 feet. 4 to 7 feet forecast for Tampa Bay area, St. Pete, and then you go farther to the north, 8 to 12 feet based on the current forecast, but these numbers could go up as well, so something that we'll watch closely. Now here's the graph model. We love the graph model for the tropics. It does a great job. And look at the way it bombs out this storm. And notice the forecast track a little bit east of where the Hurricane Center is putting this storm in. So we'll watch the trends. The graph model has been an excellent model on intensity and track forecast. But bottom line, you can see this is heading toward the Big Bend of Florida. And then it rakes portions of Georgia, South Carolina, and then maybe even North Carolina before definitively moving away for Thursday. Landfall is going to be late Tuesday night, early Wednesday morning, right around daybreak on Wednesday, the way it's looking. Here's the graph model wind forecast data, and notice you can see the big winds over by the Cedar Key area. I saw 120 just before we stopped it right here. This is early Wednesday morning, and then hurricane force winds perhaps all the way over through Jacksonville before the storm begins to weaken. For us, the model says maybe a few more showers early this evening. We'll keep our fingers crossed. Mid-70s by tomorrow morning, then tomorrow pushing the lower 90s with some scattered showers and thunder showers tomorrow afternoon into tomorrow evening. After that drier air pouring in the wake of that hurricane that'll be east of us, so then we dry out and temperatures go back up. Mid-70s overnight tonight, but maybe a few showers during the evening hours. We'll go with rain chance at about 40%. That's where we keep it for tomorrow as well, at the 40% range, 92 the high. A more typical summer day. We haven't had any of those since May, and it wasn't summer in May, but that's the way it's gone this summer for sure. So enjoy the lower temperatures because Wednesday will be back up to 97 in full sun. Thursday, much the same, upper 90s into the weekend, but some rain chances developing late in the weekend, early next week. But notice those temperatures still 5 to 10 degrees above normal. That's it for weather for now. We're going to have more coming up right after the break.